Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to what's been happening around the NFL, especially in the NFC South, then you know that the Atlanta Falcons are right in the middle of a very interesting offseason, full of moves that could have long-term implications. And today, we're diving deep into some recent roster changes that are sparking quite a bit of discussion among fans and analysts alike. These moves are not just about roster shuffling, they signal a shift, a new direction, and a real statement from the Falcons front office about their ambitions for this season and beyond. Recently, the Falcons made headlines by cutting former Pro Bowl wide receiver DJ Chark, who had signed with the team in July. Now, this might seem like just another roster adjustment on the surface, but when you look at the context, it's much more than that. Chark, a second-round pick out of LSU, has had a career filled with ups and downs, but there was always a sense that he could be a significant weapon in this offense. In 2019, he truly shined during his Pro Bowl season, catching 73 passes for over 1,000 yards and scoring 8 touchdowns. That was a season that put him on the map, showcasing his big play ability and his knack for stretching defenses. With a career total of 100 receiving yards and a remarkable average of 14.4 yards per reception, Chark has shown flashes of elite potential. But as we all know, NFL careers are often a roller coaster, and last season was a bit of a dip for Chark. After signing with the Panthers and then spending time with the Chargers, his production declined considerably. In 2023, he caught only 35 passes for 525 yards and 5 touchdowns with the Panthers, which is a noticeable drop from his peak. His time with the Chargers was limited, with just 4 catches for 31 yards in a handful of games. During the recent preseason game against the Titans, he caught one of his 3 targets for 11 yards, but that wasn't enough to secure his spot on the final roster. And this is where the Falcons' decision-making process becomes interesting. Cutting a player of Chark's caliber might raise eyebrows, especially considering his talent and experience, but it also underscores how competitive and strategic NFL rosters are. The Falcons clearly want to give other players a shot, perhaps younger receivers or those who better fit the current offensive scheme. It's a move that speaks to the team's focus on building a dynamic, versatile offense that can adapt to what defenses are throwing at them this season. But that's not all. Alongside Chark's release, the Falcons also waived quarterback Emory Jones. Now, Jones, who was in concussion protocol after their recent preseason game, didn't have a memorable camp, and the team was probably looking for a more experienced or a more promising option to back up their starter. After completing just 2 of 5 passes for 16 yards during the game against the Titans and rushing 3 times for 10 yards, it became clear that his role was diminishing. The team is now bringing in veteran quarterback Ben DiNucci, a player with NFL experience, who was drafted in the 7th round by the Dallas Cowboys back in 2020. DiNucci has since spent time with the Broncos, Bills, and Saints, and now joins the Falcons with the hope of providing some depth and competition at the position. For the Falcons, all of these moves point to a team that's trying to fine-tune its roster ahead of the regular season. They are clearly not just looking for the best talent on paper, but are trying to find the right fit for their scheme, their culture, and their long-term vision. It's a balancing act. Cutting a talented receiver like Chark might seem risky, but it's a calculated move to make room for other players who could bring more consistency or fit into the offensive identity head coach Arthur Smith is trying to build. Now, let's talk a little about what this means for the Falcons and their chances this season. The team has been making steady progress, especially on offense, where quarterback Desmond Ridder is looking to build on his promising rookie year. The addition of new receivers, along with the ongoing development of the offensive line, indicates that Atlanta is aiming to be more explosive and unpredictable. The team's defense has also been a topic of conversation, but today, the focus is on these offensive roster moves that could help unlock more big plays and scoring opportunities. But back to the receivers, Chark's departure leaves some questions about the depth at wide receiver. The Falcons will need some of their younger players to step up and fill the void, especially considering the importance of a reliable passing game in today's NFL. The team's strategy might involve leaning on their tight ends or running backs in certain situations, but at the end of the day, they want to see their receivers improve and prove they can be consistent game changers. The NFL is a league where talent is vital, but so is chemistry and fit, and it seems like the Falcons are trying to find that sweet spot. This roster shakeup also hints at the team's broader approach, building a team that can contend for the playoffs and maybe even push deep into postseason. The NFC South has been a competitive division, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, and Carolina Panthers all vying for supremacy. The Falcons know that to rise to the top, they need to be sharp in every aspect, from their offensive scheme to their defensive resilience. These moves, including cutting Chark and waiving Jones, are part of that puzzle, trying to optimize the roster for maximum performance. Looking at the bigger picture, the Falcons have been steadily growing over the past couple of seasons. The arrival of Desmond Ridder as their quarterback last year marked a new chapter, and the team seems committed to supporting him with talent and strategic decisions. The coaching staff under Arthur Smith is known for their creative offensive schemes, and with the right pieces, they aim to maximize Ridder's abilities. This season could be pivotal for the Falcons, potentially marking their return to playoff prominence after a few seasons of rebuilding and adjusting. Now, for the fans listening, you have to ask yourself, what does this roster move say about the Falcons' mindset this year? Are they confident enough in their current core to let go of experienced players like Chark? Or are they still searching for that perfect combination of young talent and veteran leadership? I believe it's a bit of both. They are trying to strike a balance, keeping enough firepower to challenge, but also being flexible and adaptable to the unpredictable nature of NFL seasons. And I want to highlight that these moves can have ripple effects. The departure of a player like Chark might open up opportunities for other receivers to step up and claim a bigger role. It's a chance for someone to emerge as a reliable target, to become a key piece in the Falcons' offensive puzzle. For fans, this is exciting because it means watching the team evolve, seeing new players rise to the challenge, and perhaps witnessing some unexpected breakout performances come the regular season. In terms of what to expect moving forward, the Falcons will likely continue to tweak their roster, possibly bringing in more veteran depth or even making trades if the right opportunity arises. The NFL offseason is a time of strategic maneuvering, and Atlanta seems to be playing that game smartly. Their focus is on building a cohesive, competitive team that can not only make the playoffs, but also make a real impact once they get there. As we look ahead to the season, keep an eye on how these roster decisions influence the team's chemistry and performance. The Falcons have a talented core, and with the right pieces fitting together, they could surprise a lot of people. The NFC South is still very much up for grabs, and Atlanta wants to be at the forefront of that race. They are clearly not resting on their laurels. They are pushing forward, making tough calls, and preparing to show everyone that they're serious about contending once again. So, Falcons fans, what do you think about these moves? Are you happy with the team's direction? Do you believe they're making the right strategic choices? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing your takes. And remember, I'll be back very soon with more updates, analysis, and news about the Atlanta Falcons. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this Falcons family growing strong. Thanks for being with me today, and as always, go Falcons!